What's up, guys? My name is Savage, and today we're going to be talking about some of the class changes that are going to be occurring in Shadowlands in the upcoming World of Warcraft expansion. Earlier today, Blizzard showed off a class preview of the changes that they currently have in the works for the upcoming expansion, and we're going to be covering Shaman right now. I've played Shaman pretty much the entire time from the original classic release back in 2004 all the way up through BFA. It has been my main that whole time. On the side, we've always played a little bit of a Frost EK. Pretty exciting stuff for them too in those notes. And a little bit of Fury Warrior. But Shaman's always been my main, and I've just loved it from day one. BFA, however, was the first time that I could not stand playing my Enhancement Shaman. It just felt so lifeless as a class in terms of just the gameplay. And it's like, oh yeah, look at all the pretty Stormbringer procs. Yeah, okay, great. Like that was pretty much the main thing for the class, was you spammed Stormbringer and you dumped your Maelstrom with Lava Lash. That was pretty much the core mechanics around the class. You know, a little bit of stuff here and there that was not really that important, but that felt pretty bad from a class gameplay design when you think about all the ways it used to be. But that's all changing, and it's exciting. I'm so excited. You have no idea. Shaman is gonna be so much fun now. But you know, instead of just hearing me geek out about Shaman, let's just get over to the notes and start talking about it, and we'll have a look at all of that for you guys. We'll cover all three specializations and the changes they're having, some having more than other. But you know, one of the things they did was they gave a little blurb about each of the classes. Shaman, as a class, Shaman have long had some of the most distinctive categories of spells in the game: totems, shocks, shields, weapon imbues, and chain spells. But over time, some have become the domain of specific specializations. In Shadowlands, we're giving these types of abilities back to the entire class. As a player levels up, they'll be exposed to the many ways a shaman can interact with the elements to overcome challenges. Over time, the shaman will discover which of these tools they have the strongest affinity for, and which abilities they'd like to focus on as they master the elemental forces. Now, the first general change of things that there's going to be with Shadowlands is going to be baseline classes abilities being added back. Right. So things like Chain Heal, Chain Lightning, Healing Stream, Totem, Flame Tongue Weapon, Flame Shock, Frost Shock, Lightning Shield, those are all coming back to all of the specs. And it's amazing, as particularly Chain Heal and Chain Lightning. Those are massive, particularly for Enhancement Shaman, and you're gonna find out why soon, because it's really exciting as an Enhancement Shaman. Searing Totem's also coming back, really amazing. I'm just, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so much fun. You have no idea. Elemental, Maelstrom resource and accompanying bar have been removed. This is one of the best things I have read, is that the Maelstrom resource bar is being removed. I hated that thing. I was never a fan of it, and I'm so happy that it's gone. They added Maelstrom to Shaman back in Legion, so we only had it for 2 expansions, but it was still a pain. They wanted to improve the affordance of the use around Earthshock and Earthquake in the rotation of elemental shamans. But with the addition of the resource bar, it just became a builder spender ability class, like pretty much almost all other classes. They just became a builder spender class. So I'm happy to see that they're going away from that again. When an elemental shaman presses Earthshock and it consumes most of their resource, the expectation is that this moment is the peak of their rotation, and there should be a big payoff. But we want the focus of the rotation to be about managing your Flame Shock debuff on multiple targets to maximize the potential of Lava Burst through Lava Surge procs. Lightning Bolt and consequently Earthshock are meant to be a flavorful but secondary part of the single target rotation. As such, we are returning to a design that relies on building stacks of Fulmination to determine when to insert Earthshock into the rotation. Similarly, Chain Lightning and stacks of Seismic Thunder will serve to enable Earthquake. Echoing Shock is a talent, new talent, that blasts a target for significant damage and makes it so the shaman's next healing or damage dealing spell casts a second time shortly afterward without costing additional resources. So that's going to allow you to double cast Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt, you know, not flash heal, wrong class, healing, chain heal, all those things, earth shock, earthquake, and that's going to be probably really big for elemental shamans for getting in those like nice solid burst windows. I think overall this is good for elemental. For all you elemental fans out there, yay you, I'm happy for you, but I don't care about you. All right, I don't care about elemental. I care about enhancement. Yeah. Now, I know some of the enhancement players were probably going through all the class changes, working their way down, and they saw 2 classes got some pretty exciting things. Frost DKs and Windwalker Monks. They are getting back the ability to use 2-handed and or 1-handed weapons. That's awesome for those classes. I know especially the DKs have been dying for 2-handed Frost to be back. So congrats to them. Unfortunately, not the case for Shaman. So all the people who've been playing Classic and you want 2-handed Shaman to come back, we're not getting it back. All right, one step at a time. All right. This is gonna be good enough though. This is gonna be good enough for the time being to make the class feel so much more in depth and flavorful again, and just really fun in my opinion. Like with Elemental, Maelstrom bar is gone. It's just completely gone. But, haha, we're getting OG Maelstrom stacks back. So, you know, you're gonna get those nice lightning images around your character again, building up the stacks. And, you know, you're gonna use that to get off free casts of your nature abilities. And that is going to be so much fun again. The question right now is, during that time, will the Maelstrom stacks be from TBC's variant or later renditions of it? TBC's, the difference between the two is that in TBC, Maelstrom stacks just shortened the cooldown, or not the cooldown, the cast time up to 100%. But post that, it was cast time and mana cost. One of the things I really hated with BFA was when I would use Healing Surge, it would use my Maelstrom and 20% of my mana. And I essentially couldn't actually keep using it even if I had Maelstrom. And it was like, oh, you're and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, you took all my mana. So I'm curious to see which way Maelstrom weapon is going to work. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty exciting. It actually doesn't specify nature damage. It says your next healing or damage dealing spell instant. But since Enhancement Shaman right now actually is pretty much just nature damage or healing abilities on it in terms of casted. However, there's one more in here, which is awesome, that you'll see. It will apply to that one as well. Flame Tongue weapon and Wind Fury weapon are once again going to be applied as imbuements onto your weapons. So that's part of the reason two-handed would probably never make a return, is just the fact that you'd always be gimped by only having one imbuement versus both. Particularly with one of the changes for Searing Assault, Flame Tongue weapon is going to be far too valuable. With that, we have gotten back, you know, Frost Shock and Flame Shock. So Hailstorm is no longer going to serve that purpose of being the slowing ranged ability anymore. It is now going to be redesigned so that it resets the cooldown of Flame Shock and Frost Shock when you use Storm Strike. So that's going to be really awesome, being able to use consecutive, you know, Flame Shocks and particularly Frost Shocks for slowing targets, multiple targets even, in Battlegrounds without really using up a resource for it. Searing Assault has been completely changed into a powerful fire attack. It's going to strike a foe for significant fire damage and cause Searing Totem to start firing off incredibly fast. And it's also going to make Flame Shocks trigger a lot more quickly over time to dish out more damage in a quicker window. So that alone, Searing Assault alone, has more depth to its gameplay than like Shaman almost as an entirety right now for enhancement. in my opinion. And when in PvE anyways, you know, that's, you know, multiple aspects of a game being affected by one ability connecting to multiple other abilities and how they interact and function. I think that's really awesome, and I'm excited for it. Overcharge is now going to generate 5 stacks of Maelstrom weapon right away. So you're going to be able to use that to get off an immediate instant heal or instant damage. And then it's going to build up an additional stack every second for a short duration. So this is going to allow you to pretty much, in very short windows of times, get off multiple heals or multiple chain lightnings in a group scenario, things like that. Stormkeeper will make your next 2 lightning bolts or chain lightning spells instant cast and also deal bonus damage. Ooh, yeah. It also benefits from Maelstrom weapon, lowering Stormkeeper's cast time so the Enhancement Shaman can chain powerful abilities together to pummel down foes quickly. So that's really cool. Elemental Blast is also making a return as a talent, and this is going to be pretty much like your heavy hitter ranged ability for those who remember how amazing Elemental Blast was during Mist of Pandaria. Yeah, it's back. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be pretty sweet. And this is also affected by Maelstrom weapons. So you're gonna be able to use Maelstrom weapon stacks in order to instant cast Elemental Blast as well. So you are now gonna be really gonna be back to being this melee ranged hybrid caster type thing, which is what you were in, you know, pretty much Wrath, Kata, Mob, all those things before Legion. You were this just awesome, you know, hybrid class, and now you're gonna be back to that. The only thing you're really missing is a good AoE skill. I know what a lot of people have been thinking. Fire Nova. Yes, that would truly be great. Might be a little bit of overkill at the moment, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll see what happens. Fire Nova would be great to have back though. But that's enhancement. Yeah. Now, the last one, unfortunately, restoration. Very little is adjusted for restoration. Once Restoration Shaman steps into the realm of ancestral spirits, they will find new ways to tap into the elemental powers. I don't know if this is them hinting at they're still working on it, or things will change for the shaman as a healer. Some of their abilities will change by being in that new realm. It's not really clear what they mean by that, but in terms of direct things happening, Earth Shield is now going to be able to be used by all Resto Shamans without needing to take it as a talent. It's no longer going to be a talent requirement. You just have it baseline. And then you're going to get a new talent called Surge of Earth, which is going to expend multiple charges of Earth Shield in order to pump out a significant heal in a small window to the current Earth Shield target and several nearby allies. So it's going to be a nice additional just base heal that's going to be added into the kit of the class. We'll see what overall changes going forward, but that's pretty cool. And also now as a Resto Shaman, you're going to have some of those other damage utilities back as well, with chain lightnings, frost shocks, all that stuff. It's really exciting. Lightning shield as well. Pretty excited to see what happens with that. I want to play. I want to play it right now. I haven't had this much of an desire to play retail World of Warcraft since BFA first launched. And that's just from the standpoint of my class looks so much fun to play. I was really worried. I was honestly concerned for a little bit, like a week ago, that they weren't going to be, Shaman was going to be kind of a joke again. They weren't going to take care of it. It was lacking pretty much all the way through BFA. I mean, they even had it right here in their April Fool's joke. They know. No adjustments needed as their April Fool's joke for Shaman. So they knew that Shaman was not in the best place. And so I'm happy to see all of this, depth coming back into the class playstyle, particularly for enhancement. I cannot wait to play it. Let me know what you guys think about this. what is your favorite change for your classes? If you're not an Enhancement Shaman player or a Shaman player at all, which class were you most excited about? Also, which thing as a Shaman were you most excited about for Shaman specifically? I am a Shaman lover, so let me know. But I'm really excited. I haven't been able to shut up talking about it. Everybody's been telling me to shut up, actually. I've been talking too much about it. But yeah, have a great one, guys. Thanks for watching. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Zavage, and you can find my Twitter in the link below in the info. Also join our Discord, and I look forward to seeing a lot of you in Shadowlands, because we ain't gonna be on Azeroth, that's for sure. Have a good one.